It is my deepest honor and privilege to sincerely welcome you to the 6th edition of the AFLIGA Fireside Dialogue. That the future will not reflect what we had hoped for. Instead, the future will only reflect what we did. The legacies we left behind that continues to be told in stories by the next generation. We may not be able to change Africa's colonial, fragmented past, but certainly, as leaders of today, we can do a little more to equip the women and youth of Africa to change the pattern.
Agency is not a possession, it's a practice. It is exercised or it is forfeited. Through every institutional choice, every governance decision, every budget allocation, and every moment of political courage or cowardice.
No discussion on Africa's future is complete without addressing the well-being of women and children. Across the continent, women and children continue to face proportionate challenges, including inequality, limited access to opportunities, and in some cases, vulnerability to conflict and poverty. Empowering women, protecting children, and expanding access to education and healthcare are essential foundations for sustainable peace and development.
Africa is the world's youngest continent. Africa is the fastest growing continent. So if we agree that the youth owns the future, then Africa is the future of the world. Therefore, investing in youth is investing in the world's future.
On unemployment, youth account for about 60% of Africa's total unemployment. 60%. Now that's a pretty staggering figure if you think about it. As of 2025, among the young Africans aged 15 to 17 who are employed, about 96% of them hold informal jobs, and 40% live below the international poverty line of $3 a day, according to the World Bank. The MasterCard Foundation projects that 27 million young people aged 15 to 35 will be unemployed by 2030. These are not natural disasters. These are predictable outcomes of governance, choices of state that have exercised agency, typically in the service of elite accumulation rather than productive development.
We live in an era of economic nationalism. We live in an era of political polarization, and we live in an era of skepticism about democracy. We also live in an era where the international order has changed in recent years. During the Cold War years, of course, there was a clear division between East and West. Today that has changed completely. Europe, like Africa, finds itself in a something of a crossroads, I think. How Africa can deal with current concerns is very much like how Europe can deal with current concerns. So my point is simply that the issues that the AU faces are, I think, rather universal. Regional organisations everywhere are facing profound questions about relevance and focus in 2026.
But enough of all this blame game and defensive mechanism. When we realize that there is a problem, then the solution should be what we are seeking for, not going back over and over and over.
My name is Dr. Michael Abusakara Foster, and I'm very grateful that I've been invited to participate in AFLIGA's event today.
My name is Sarah Fafali Dogbaji Osei.
My name is Dr. Victor Doke. I'm a research fellow lecturer with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center.
My name is Olivia Nkuchede.
I'm Ambassador Novishi Abedu.
retired ambassador of Ghana to Belgium in the European Union.
Hi, my name is Dr. Victor Abe, the lead consultant of the Abe Consults.
My name is William Atuguba.
Indeed, we do not lack ideas as to what we want to do. What we lack are leaders who are to provide us the needed leadership. And those leaders cannot be found except they are leaders who are ready to sacrifice the red carpet which each and everyone want to step on for the continent of Africa to flourish and to grow. We cannot grow unless we give up these red carpets so that we all walk on the sand together as common people and think together and look for homegrown solutions to the problems of the continent of Africa. Thank you very much.
For this to happen, people must take active role in decision making, and the gatekeepers of decision making must be challenged to either deliver or vacate their roles so that others can play a more effective role. And that is the challenge for the younger generation. They should not wait to be invited to the table of decision making. They should take matters in their own hands. They should rise and challenge the status quo, because we have had more than 70 years now of decision making that has basically served partisan, personal, and parochial interests. We must now have decision making that serves national interests and also inures to our continental advancement. If this cannot happen at the national level, no amount of wishful thinking will make it happen at the global level.
But one key thing I want to add, that beyond the conversations, it's about time we begin to practicalize all the ideas, the beautiful ideas that we have. We know the problem, we know what it is that we need to do. The will, the political will, and the leadership strength to carry through is what is required. How do we harness the talents, the potentials of our people to come to the realization that development of Africa rests in our own hands? How do we get to tap into the space of the younger people so that as much as possible, they are the future. They can carry on and make sure that the development of Africa becomes a reality. And the dominance of the African continent becomes a reality to the global space.
I also agree with some of the discussants on the fact that colonialism is past, even though some remnants remains and we are still suffering from a bit of its effect. But it's past, and the solution to the problems of Africa lies with Africa. But I realized that certain essential points were not discussed in the sense that we can have all the strong institutions, we can have an effective governance systems, but without respect for the rule of law and access to justice by the weak, the poor, the young and women, all those structures will not mean anything. Without respect for the rule of law, institutions, strong institutions and strong governance structures means nothing to the development and growth of Africa as a whole.
There was an analogy that I found interesting, that Africa is like the Joseph story in the Bible, where Africa found itself in the pit, found itself in prison, and from prison to palace. So we need to create the enabling environment to move out of every form of imprisonment to the palace that has been created for us. Because we have a lot of things going for us. The arable lands that we have, the youth bulge, the voice, the numbers that we have in the Committee of Nations, etc. We need to actually make very good use of these things that we have so that we can push forward the agenda for Africa.
Because when times where the question has been posed whether Africa and its role and agency is relevant in the current global discourse, we are looking at the position where Africa is going to play key, essential, effective roles when it comes to peace, security, governance, and trade. And so this particular forum has brought to bear not only experts, backed think tanks, scholars who have from diverse backgrounds contributed to the discourse of how Africa can do well when it comes to our role and agency, looking at the global governance and global affairs.
My take on this morning's engagement is that this kind of conversation is what we should be pursuing. We should be talking more about where we want to go, and the talk is not enough. We should walk the talk. This kind of conversation broadens horizon in thought and philosophizing and strategizing our progress.
But if you are not, look at most of the African states, dictatorships, complete dictatorships. So if you are not prepared to do anything positive at home, how do you do anything positive on the broader level? Look at ECOWAS. I mean, the heads of state will always like to say that civilian governments must be in place for the sake of democracy. But if you look at things critically, some civilian governments in Africa are worse than military dictatorship. Worse. So what are we talking about? Things, fellow heads of state are misbehaving, they are being dictatorial, very corrupt. Their peers will not say anything to try and call them to order. They won't do that. And when a coup comes, they say, we will have to restore democracy. Complete hypocrisy, a waste of time, dishonesty. But unless these things are rectified, I mean, we'll just be moving in circles. Yes, that's what I have to say.
Hi. So the fifth in the series of the AFLIGA Fireside Dialogue series brought together diplomats, professionals, development practitioners, youth, and everyone who is concerned about the role of Africa in global affairs. Held under the theme Africa Agency and our role in global affairs, the past, the present, and the future, the challenges and the prospects, these conversations have sparked a new narrative. A narrative that is being written by Africans for Africans, talking about building institutions that have been empowered to ensure that African solutions are made for Africa has been one of the topical areas. Of course, as an agency, how do we ensure that Africa has been empowered to build the Africa we want, not for a distant future, but for the now? This is just the beginning, and we hope that this has sparked a new conversation, it has sparked a new momentum in shaping the narrative of Africa by Africans and for Africans. Thank you. We look forward to see you again.